girls in the Yarn Cafe.
20th cup?
What? Or
We're not.
like Christy says, what? What?
What? We're not teenagers anymore.
Nope. Except for me.
Well, except for you. But
Because,
welcome.
I've only been...
You've only been part of it for a few of the episodes.
Oh, I've been here for like 7... Okay, I'm 17 years old, guys.
Yeah, I think you've been here since like episode
17 cups
3.
old.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
So we're happy to have you here. It is Saturday, July 8th.
And it's like 110 degrees.
And my house air conditioning is broken still.
In Payson, Utah, because apparently we live in the desert.
We do.
That's really cold in the winter, which I still don't completely understand.
But by the next podcast, we will have air conditioning blasting.
I'll be like wearing sweaters, and we can show you these things.
Yeah, we're going to be able to crank
I'll
it.
actually have one.
So we're wearing this for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, we have to look nitty.
We will look nitty, but these are going to be coming off in a second because it's getting really,
and I
really
get cranky.
warm. So anyway, I am Christy, and I am Trysten's mom.
And I am Trysten, and I'm Christy's daughter. I almost said I'm Christy's mom.
You wish. But I am the dyer behind Yarn Café Creations on Etsy.
And I'm the dyer behind Dragon Hoard Yarn on Etsy, but Etsy is weird, and so I'm still fingersoffury for my shop on Etsy. And it's really annoying.
I'm going to flash that on the screen.
I know. All the words.
Yeah.
All I just said.
All of that. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But welcome to all of the new viewers, and welcome back to all the old viewers. Not old. Yeah. You're not old. You're not old. You're seasoned.
Even if you're old, you're still young at heart.
Right. Right. So.
But if you're a returning viewer, welcome back to the 20th Cup.
Yay.
That's so crazy to me.
And if you've been with me since the beginning.
There's a couple of you, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard thank you.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
Great. We're happy to have you guys here, so we should get started, and we should take this off.
I'm going to take this off now before I get cranky, because when I get hot, I get really cranky. Even though this is gorgeous, and I'm going to
flash it, but it'll be talked about later. It's not really
we already know about this one.
But, so,
oh.
Anyway, we are happy to be here. We have some admin things to go over that are on my very diligently done notes that I'm going to pull up on my...
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we had to restart the podcast because she thought it was an awesome idea, which it was if it was connected to the printer, which I think that's what we needed.
That's what we need next time.
So she...
I put on my notes on my computer because every podcast, I'm like, wait, who did we draw? Who do we need? What do we need to send out? What did we talk about on that podcast? I don't want to have to go back and watch it again. So we usually jot down notes on paper. And this time I said, I'm going to put them in a file on my computer so that we can just access them.
Which I think we need to do anyways because I would love to have those notes regardless and be a little bit more structured in how we do these things. So.
Don't judge us. We're structured.
But so it didn't work. And so she's looking on her phone while we're recording, trying to find it. And so finally she just took pictures of it from her computer on her phone. It
works, right?
And we're good.
Whatever works.
We're good now. Whatever.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk a little bit about our week first. Yes. And then we will have some admin things to go over. But
I just want to say really fast, in the States it was the 4th of July, so it was our birthday.
And in Canada it was
their birthday. Yeah, so we're like birthday cousins or something. So happy birthday, everyone. And and just throwing it out there, no one can judge me on any yarn that I buy this month because it's my birthday month and I'm going to do whatever I want.
You know what? And I think that I should be able to buy all the yarn that I want to because I pushed you out of my vagina.
I think that should be a thing.
I should be celebrated for having this child.
I think that's very true. You did good job. Good job, Mom. Let's get you some yarn.
Okay, it's all about me. I see how I took away your birthday.
I did nothing.
Accolades and put it on me.
I took a breath and screamed. So I guess technically I really don't.
I did all the work,
anything.
And you came out in 3.5 hours, from start to finish. Natural.
3.5 hours though. That's pretty good.
No, it's not.
Really?
That
labor for like 16 hours. I heard was bad. Oh, that was really bad.
Then. I was induced, and 3.5 hours later, my doctor went golfing because he thought you were going to take longer. Oh no. You were delivered mostly by the nurses. He barely got there so that he could...
Maybe that's why I don't like people touching me. Because I never had, actual doctor deliver me.
He delivered you. Oh, okay. The nurses did all the work though. But anyway, wow. But happy birthday. Tristan's birthday's coming up this month, and so is my mom's, grandma's.
Oh, she can buy all the yarn she wants then too.
Right. She totally
Go crazy. I don't think she's watching this part though.
Yeah, apparently sometimes she scrolls
She just skips through it to see
goes
what
through
everyone, like,
all the highlights.
what we've bought or whatever.
Whatever. So I could pretty much talk trash about her and she wouldn't even know it.
I think this is where we need to, like, for Christmas knitting, this is where we need to, like, put it.
She'll scroll through and see us putting it there, so we can't do that.
I know exactly what I'm going to make her, and I want to show it, and that's so frustrating.
So you just have to be
how
like,
dare you watch?
So this week I went to the rodeo, here's Grandma's present, and then you're just...
Flash it really fast.
Flash it really fast so she'd see it.
I know. Dang it all.
Yeah, so our week was, 4th of July, and it was really hot. And my AC is not working, so dyeing yarn in the house was really hard. And
4th of July was so much fun, though.
It was. Everybody came, all of my family, all my kids and their partners, and Grandma was here, and it was really nice.
Yeah, and we finally got to meet Vaughn's kids. Okay, they've been together how long now?
I've been together with Vaughn for 3 years.
Yeah, I've met one of his kids.
You had met Sam once, but
I like Sam.
Yeah.
Sam's really cool.
Yeah, but
he talks psychology with me. Yeah, I like him.
But we just they live in the north. They live about an hour away, and they're busy too, and just never worked out. You know?
So we finally got to meet each other and put faces to the names and spend some time together, which was so much fun.
It was fun.
And then later in the week, I just feel like Wonder Woman.
You are Wonder Woman.
And a total bad A right now because. What was it, Thursday before the 4th?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just having so much pain in my back, and so I was at work, and we had a work meeting, and I was just kind of like chilling through it, trying not to struggle, and then my mom was like, I bet you have kidney stones. And so, did I leave work? Yeah, I left work.
I think you left
work because I had to rescue my husband.
Yeah, you left work for a totally different reason.
So I wasn't even going to go home early for whatever, which ended up being kidney stones. I wasn't going to leave work, but my husband, his car wouldn't start at work, and his coworker was like taking him back and forth to AutoZone, trying to find things to fix it, and finally his coworker's like, I can't spend any more time, I got to go home, and so he took Eric home, and that's right when I left. So I was just going to go straight to his work because it's like 2 minutes away from where we work, but I had to go all the way home.
And
which is great. And so I told him, like, you know what, let's just troubleshoot it. Let's figure out what's wrong. Let's just fix it. And so we went and we looked at what it was. We called his dad, figured it out. What ended up happening is it was a starter. Because Eric decided to get a super special car. It has all basically custom parts. Because they only made like 9,000 of the car or something. And it's not even a special car. It's like a Mitsubishi something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they stopped making them because they were ridiculous. And so we thought it was whatever. Anyways, so obviously not the first problem we've had with this car. That's expensive. So we got the starter, and the starter is under the engine. And so we had to dismantle a ton of stuff and get it out, put it back in, and we found out that the connectors on his battery also were just corroded and awful. So even when we like connected it all, and we're like, hey, we're done, yay, it wouldn't start. And so we're freaking out, and Eric's like, I shorted it out because of all these technical things I don't know about.
All those big words.
All the words. And so finally I'm like, hey, I need to go to the urgent care. So I'm going to go and get some medicine. And so as soon as I left, he called me. He's like, it started. And so I fixed a car with my husband when I was passing kidney stones.
You're pretty amazing.
Just saying, I feel pretty cool right now.
Yeah, kidney stones are pretty awful.
They're not great. But the thing is, I have scoliosis, and my back constantly hurts, so it doesn't really matter. And so it was hurting a little bit more than usual. And the doctor that I went to see, who is awesome, who's not my normal doctor, who I absolutely love now, he was just like, either you have a huge pain tolerance or it's a really small kidney stone. And I still don't know which it was because my back is always hurting, so I don't know if I do have a high pain tolerance in my back.
Yeah, it's hard to say, yeah.
So, but that was my week.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that you were able to do that. And then you were on pain meds.
And then I was on pain meds for a weekend. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it's so interesting how you think you can do certain things. Remember when I had my knee surgery and I took Norco and then I was knitting a dishcloth, and pretty soon my dishcloth is like this long and like this skinny. I was
test knitting her pattern during this. I was texting her, I'm like, you need to put row counts at the end of each row because I cannot keep track.
I'm like, nobody does that,
stitches
Trysten.
are.
I said, do you know how many rows there are in
You have
this?
no idea how frustrated I was with you when you texted me about that back. I, threw my phone down. I'm like, whatever, Mom.
And I was like, what are you... I can't do that. That just is impossible. Nobody does that.
No. And I'm like, I did that. And then when I'm, not having fun in my brain... and get back to being coherent, I look back, I'm like, I didn't even do that. Why would I ever ask anyone else to
I'm like
do
thinking,
that?
you didn't do that on yours. What do you mean?
I was so frustrated with you, though, and then I don't even think I took all the pain meds, honestly, that they gave me. I was only incoherent for, a day, but I still dyed yarn.
And did a live video.
I was, walking around, I'm like, whatever, guys.
You did a live video,
I did a live video, which I don't necessarily remember. But it was a fun time. That was my week.
Well, and what was I going to talk about?
Was it the spider?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You already told that story.
No, but you didn't tell a story of what you did after.
What did I do after?
You apparently killed Tony, but you didn't.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys about that.
You didn't tell that story.
Trysten told on the last podcast about how she found a couple spiders up in her light. She named one of them Tony because apparently it was really big.
He was a monster.
He was in a light.
He had an exoskeleton. I think he's part. New update. I think he's part scorpion.
Yeah,
I think we decided.
He had
no, he didn't have a thing, but his legs were just he obviously works out. Anyways.
So a few days later, I'm in my office, and she's walks into her office and goes, "Oh my gosh, I found Tony! He's back! He's back!" I'm like, okay, I'll come kill it. Just wait there. And
she's making me sound a little bit more prissy than it actually was.
I'm in my high heels in my dress. I walk in there, and we have weird carpet. It's hard to see dark things on it.
It looked.
And she's like, where is she? Where is he? And she was like, right there. So I walk over and I stepped on it, and I twisted my foot. And I'm like, do you have a tissue? So I went and got a paper towel, picked it up. And I'm weird. I like to look at spiders after I kill them to see what kind it was. Make sure it wasn't something crazy. And I look, and I had just killed a black rubber band. So, us being the lighthearted, funny people that we are in my office.
I go to school.
She went to school this was the next day.
Yeah.
She leaves for school every day for about an hour and a half. My coworker, Sherry, brought in some fly paper. And we unrolled the fly paper and we stuck all kinds of black rubber bands to it. Little tiny black rubber bands, and we hung it above her desk.
I actually came back in and it scared me.
It did, and it was absolutely
It's because it was an object that I'm not used to seeing in my office. I'm like, what the heck is that?
It was so funny. We were laughing so hard. It was pretty amazing.
It was pretty funny.
We're pretty witty.
Just saying. That was pretty funny. I'll give you that.
We are pretty witty. But anyway, so the rest of our week, we went to our second knit night with the ladies from
Meanwhile at the Castle.
Deborah and Emily couldn't make it,
yeah,
but Deborah was
sad.
There. And
we still had so much fun, though.
It was our second official session. It's a closed group that's invitation only, and so we're so grateful we got invited.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, and so it was a small gathering because of the holiday, and so we so much fun. It was really fun. We have it at the
Willow Hill Creek.
The Willow Hill Yarn Company.
Willow Hill Yarn
Willow
Company.
Hill Creek Mountain Club.
Stream. Trickle.
And her name's Emily that owns that, and we appreciate her letting us have that there. And we're just happy that Deborah and Emily thought of us to invite.
I know. That was so sweet of them. And we do have so much fun. And Deborah's daughter, Ella, is now my best friend. And you sat by her. I wanted to sit by her.
You could have. There was space between me
I know,
and
but that then would have been awkward because there would have been another whole couch and 4 chairs, and then
it would have
you
looked
and
awkward.
Ella, and then I scooch
It would have been obvious that you didn't want me and Ella to
be friends because now you're best friends.
I think she and I have a connection that most people don't have.
I know.
Yeah, we
but I am doing a swap with her.
I think I sat on her couch last time too. No, she sat across from us.
No, because she stole my spot.
She stole your
Even
spot.
though I wasn't there yet.
She's an amazing kid.
I really like her.
But we had lovely ladies there. Marcy. Hi, Marcy. And we had Beth. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Beth was the one that I didn't get a chance to meet officially last time.
Yes.
So I was happy to get to know Beth a little bit more this time.
And I got to sit by her.
Trysten
and it was
sat
so much
by her.
fun.
And so it was fun. But the best part of our week has not even happened yet. So on knit night, I'm driving back. Tristan's car was at our work. I'm driving back. and she's getting out of my car, and I checked my emails really quick because I do that wherever I can because of work. But
yeah.
And I saw an email from a yarn store come through from Blazing Needles. It's a yarn store, a local yarn store called Blazing Needles.
Up in Salt Lake area too, right?
Yeah, it's in Salt Lake. And it said, we are so happy to be hosting Andrea Mowry this weekend at Blazing Needles. I'm like, wait a minute.
What the crap?
How did I not know about this? Like, I get emails from them. I didn't see an email come through. Mm-hmm. It may have. I'm not saying it didn't. But anyway, she had a meet and greet last night, which we chose not to go to. She's doing classes today, and tomorrow she's doing another class, and we signed up for it. So we're going to a class called Color Something. Something about coloring. Yeah. And we're so excited. And coloring, and so excited. And apparently
we get to learn a lot of new techniques tonight.
Because apparently you need to know how to do brioche.
Which we don't know how to do
and
yet.
And mosaic knitting.
Which we've never even heard of.
And something else.
Color something.
Something with coloring.
I think it's just, I looked it up and it's just coloring.
Just changing
learning
colors.
How to change colors, yeah.
Well, I watched a video on brioche last night. Much I know how to do it
I got
now.
it. Yeah, it's so funny because this happened and then Trysten from Yarngasm
last night.
Podcast
either yesterday morning or last night it posted.
Yeah, posted. And I'm just like, this is perfect. Now I can learn how to brioche, and I'm going to be an expert.
She posted a video called Crash Course. And then this morning, did you see she posted
how to do the cast on.
How to cast on.
Because I'm like, now I know how to do brioche. I just need to know how to cast on.
How did Kristen know?
She
obviously is good friends with us, and we don't even know it.
She listens to us.
Whatever.
All the things.
Yeah, so we need to learn brioche tonight. She's probably so nice,
though. I really like watching her.
But how hard could it be?
I know.
It's basically just putting two colors on the needle and knitting it.
Yeah, apparently from what she was saying, because I watched a couple different tutorial videos on it as well, and I can't remember if it was her or someone else, but they were saying, honestly, it's just the wording that's hard to understand, but the actual technique isn't. And so she broke it down, another person broke it down, and I'm like, okay, that's...
Break it down. Break it down for us.
Anyways,
so on to mosaic knitting then, I guess.
Which is basically, if I'm understanding it right, it's color work, but it's different type of color work, where instead of knitting in between colors, you just slip them.
Oh, whatever. I could do that.
At least from the video I watched, so I'm going to look up more on that today. And hopefully we can become experts by tomorrow. But I'm actually going to cast...
We don't need expert level. We need intermediate level by tomorrow.
That's true.
We're good.
We can do that. And we're fast learners. But I'm going to cast on one of Andrea's brioche hats tonight. So, you know.
Yeah, I need to do that too. I need to at least watch some more videos.
I know. I'm going to try it tonight and see if I can figure it out.
I am too. So, Andrea... You're not watching this. You don't watch this, pretty much. But
I don't think any of the people we talk about do.
We're not really going there specifically to learn those skills.
We're really just going to spend time with you.
We don't really want to know how to do it because then you'll spend more time teaching us personally.
Yeah.
There's a method. Motive.
No, methods for madness.
We're weird. We're like...
She's been saying so many stalkery things today about it.
I'm not a stalker.
I want to create like we could have gone to Kinko's and made a book for her.
But it would have been a good book.
It would have been a good book, all about her fade and awesome stuff.
Like 5 things to do with your fade, since you're not gonna wear it.
I would.
Would wear it, but there's so many people that are like, I probably won't wear this, but I'm glad I made it. And I'm like, okay.
Like a lot of people, instead of being product knitters, they're like process knitters, and I'm really glad that I made the product. Like I love the shawl and I love knitting it. But I don't know if I'm going to wear it. Like, we've seen a lot of people podcast and say that.
I've made things like that, too. I just think it's just would have been a cute little book of taking out pictures with us doing things with my fade, you know.
And it would be us doing it.
Making a tent out of it in my backyard. Hide and seek. You know, there's so many things you can do with it. Like, put it out for a red carpet event.
Right? I actually think I'm going to make one, though.
A red carpet?
Yes. No, I think I'm finally going to do a fade now that, even though she keeps making fun of me because I keep saying I don't have a stash because I have like 18 skeins of yarn.
She's a yarn dyer.
I'm a yarn dyer, but I don't keep all the yarn. Like if I have any, even if I put it in my stash and someone wants it, I'm like, yeah, here we go. We're good.
Well, yeah, I do.
I mean, I have a bunch of screw up yarn that's all like one of a kind that
people would probably love it.
They'd probably love it, but I'm keeping it. But even with that, I only have like 18 to 20 skeins. And so, but now that I actually have a stash, because when you were making yours, I had like 2.
When I was making my what?
When you're making your fade, I had like 2 skeins of yarn, and that was it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make a fade out of this.
Well, I used it I just grabbed out of my own yarn that I sold, that I was selling, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm finally,
I know,
it is. But I think I'm finally going to make one. I'm super excited.
Yay.
Anyways.
So we're going to go meet Andrea Mowry tomorrow, and I bet she's so excited to meet us.
I know. She already commented on one of your pictures.
Christy, who? Nice to meet you. Who are you? I'm sorry, I've never heard of you. Podcast? You guys have a podcast? Yeah, she pretty much.
What's a podcast?
We're unknowns, but we're excited to meet Andrea. She's
really
actually
excited.
a big inspiration for me as a designer. I love her. I love Joji Locatelli. You know, there's a few. We all have our favorites. I just haven't ventured out either a lot into the world.
I want to try Stephen West yet, but right now Andrea Mowry probably is my favorite, just because her patterns are super easy to understand. And I'm really smitten with the So Faded sweater.
That is a nice sweater. I can't wait.
That's an ice sweater.
It's an ice baby sweater. I can't wait to see it.
You keep making me just want to dance.
I think I said ice because I'm hot, and I wish I had my body covered in ice right now. So, but anyway, we need to move on to some admin stuff really quick. We wanted to real quick announce that, or remind you that we have our SS Cal going on, which is our Shorties in a Shoebox Cal. There is a link or a what do you call it? Thread.
A thread on Ravelry.
In our group. Our group is the Girls in the Yarn Cafe. I am Yarn Café Creations on Ravelry.
I'm Dragon Hoard Yarn on Ravelry.
And on Instagram, I'm yarn _cafe _creations.
And I'm dragon _hoard _yarn.
Yes, so we want to get
on Instagram.
But anyway, go to our group and you'll see the thread. And we did our monthly drawing already. And I better look at the winner.
Should probably look that up.
So the winner gets this beautiful skein of yarn from my mom, Donna, from Crystal Skies Hand Dyed on Etsy. It's 100% baby alpaca. It's so soft.
And we wanted to bring this one out because it's called Rocky Mountain Christmas. And so many people are starting to understand that, like, everyone's knitting for fall right now. Everyone's starting their Christmas presents. So we wanted to be able to get this one out sooner rather than later. Because, I mean, so many things you can make with this. And it's so soft.
It's super soft. And so the winner of that was post number 89. And it's Alipot, Alipot. And she did not have her real name, unless her real name is Alipot.
I'm just going to call her Alipot.
I think it's Ali.
Pot.
Okay, Alipot. So Alipot, you win. So contact me or Trysten on either Etsy, Ravelry, or Instagram.
Only Instagram for me because I do not reply to anything.
And I still haven't sent out the last month's winner.
You know what? I think I'm going to send this one out. Why don't you contact me? And I will be in charge of this month.
I have been really good about sending out until we move to this house. And we've just been still moving in and doing things. But anyway, I apologize. I will get those out.
I'll send this out to you. Contact me on Instagram. Again, that's at dragon _hoard _yarn. And give me your info. And I'll send this along to you. And I just keep wanting to squish it. Yay! Love this thing. But yay! So I have already been seeing a ton more posts on the July.
Yay!
So we're going to be drawing for that at the end of July, obviously.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I'll actually have some socks done this month.
I still have to do the Kitchener stitch on that one. So, okay, the next item. I don't remember. Did I just published my pattern? I published it after our last?
Yes.
Okay, so I finished my. You have it. I finished my pattern finally, my very first pattern, and it's called Moving to the Country Shawl.
It's huge.
It really is
I love
big. It. I mean, it blocks. I didn't even block it super aggressively. And it blocks out pretty big. And this is my Fruitabamba colorway on my full-bodied sock. And this is the Roses Are Dying on my full-bodied sock. And it is on my Ravelry page, and it's Moving to the Country, but we wanted to do a knit along with it. And I've had a couple people ask me if I'm going to do it. I really hadn't thought too much. I mean, really, I wasn't sure for sure if we were going to do it. But that is going to start August 1st, and it's going to be co-hosted. We'll be hosting it, and will be co-hosted by the Knotty Knit Wits from the Knotty Knit Wits podcast. So grateful that Leslie and Michelle were willing to do that. So they'll be... Are you okay? Was there a fly? Oh. there will be threads in our group on Ravelry and also in the Knotty Knit Wits group. And I will be giving away a skein of yarn for the drawing. It'll go for the month of August. We both have decided we're going to put together a couple of kits for the shawl, because it's a 2-color shawl that you do some blending of the colors throughout it. And I've had a couple people ask me to show some colors that go well together. So rather than take up the time on the podcast, and you know what, you can put whatever you want together. I made another one, and it doesn't have to be speckled. You can do 2 solids. You can do whatever you want, but I'll put those together and have those also posted by August 1st in the shop.
I'm going to have those in my shop as well.
Maybe by the week before, so that you can order them and get going on August 1st. I think if you've already started the shawl, if you want to join the knit along in August or make another one, I'm not going to be super strict about the rules. If you've already purchased the pattern and already started on your shawl or already even finished it, post a picture in there of your finished object, and that's totally fine.
Okay,
I think that's great. I don't care.
So I'm working on one right now, but I can't really do anything.
No, you don't win.
I can't join.
So that's going to be the knit along. We also still have a knit along going on right now with the Stone Art Shawl by Leo's Lovely Treasures, which is Sarah Ermish.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. And I haven't started mine yet.
I feel bad.
You know,
I know.
You don't realize how busy you get when you're like, I was making my shawl, and then I had to make a second one to make sure it was right, so that I could publish it.
And I had my things going on, and then found out I have to make another thing.
But even if you don't join the knit along for the Stone Art Shawl, go look at the pattern, get the pattern, and have it for when you are ready. Christmas presents are great, you know, having those shawls made for Christmas. And
I know I'm going to make it. I need to be able to take time, sit down, and actually make it.
Right. And and
it's beautiful.
It is. I love the colors, how they're going together. And then, you know, I was watching the Knitting Expat, Mina Phillip. I was watching her podcast, and she has a brilliant thing that she does.
Yes.
In her group for her podcast on Ravelry, she has a coupon thread. And I know we have been sent coupons before from different Etsy sellers, and we announce them on the podcast. But I think people might forget, you know, if there's a coupon or if they don't have anything to write. So we're going to open a coupon thread. So if you have an Etsy shop and you want to offer a coupon code, you can go ahead and post it in that thread.
Throw it in there.
Throw it in there. Tell people how long it will last and what the coupon code is and what it's for.
And that'll be so helpful too, because I shop a ton online, and so many people have coupons going on, and I don't even know to look in their shops.
Just make sure you put like the time frame when it expires. Also put your shop link or your shop name, so people, because it's hard to find shops on Etsy.
It really is.
It's not the easiest. So
I
make
just
sure.
Google.
Just put your name and everything. And anyway, I just think that'll make it better for you guys. That way you don't have to send them to me, and I don't have to remember to bring them up on here. So and we have a couple other things in the admin. April 9 Design. Charlotte from April 9 Design. Gosh, my notes are a mess.
Okay.
Where did I write all this stuff? Anyway, April 9 Design, Charlotte. She sent me this beautiful bag last week. It's her newest design, and it has the drawstring and a handle, and it's beautiful. And here is her card. It's a design that has, it stands up on its own. It's really cool. She wants to do a giveaway for one of her bags. She has 5 colors in this design on her Etsy shop, and it's April 9 Design, and the 9 is spelled out. So what you'll need to do, she's going to open a thread. We'll have a thread open in our group.
Yeah.
And you'll just need to go pick out the one you would want if you won, and out of those 5 bag colors, and post them in the thread. And then she'll do a drawing. We'll do a drawing and announce the winner on our next podcast, and you'll win a bag. And then she'll send it out to you. So make sure you go check it out.
Super easy prompt.
Super easy.
Yeah.
So make sure you
bags
do
out
that.
in the world.
Right.
So thank you, Charlotte.
Charlotte, that is super nice of you. I know I wrote it down, but I don't know.
I know you did.
I know I did.
Is that all for admin? Because you're on your phone.
No, it's not all for admin. I'm still looking. Okay, so we have another cal that we want to do.
Yes. So also, we're going to do it August 1st, right?
Yes.
Yes. So also, starting August 1st.
Wait, is it August 1st? Yes, it's August 1st.
One thing that we really wanted to do is we're going to Rhinebeck this year. And everyone's always talking about, like, oh, let's get a Rhinebeck sweater, or I haven't knit my Rhinebeck sweater. And I think that's a lot of times people don't get around to actually finishing the sweater because they only start like a month or so before actually going to Rhinebeck, and that's hard pressure. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to do a Rhinebeck sweater, knit along, and maybe host it with someone else. We're still looking at that.
We have another podcaster in mind that we've left a message on her cell phone.
So you better call us, girl.
Yes.
Anyways,
it's going to be really fun though because it's going to be pretty open. Like,
yeah, you can use anyone's yarn. The sweater has to be for you. You don't even have to be going to Rhinebeck, actually. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun knit along anyways, because even if you're not going, you can still, it's like the pussy hat thing where you could make the hat, but you wouldn't.
Pussy cat hat.
They're called the pussy hats.
Okay, pussy hat. Sorry, it's weird to say that.
Anyways, and so some people like would make it and be like, we're there, you know, emotionally supporting you and stuff. And it's the same with the Rhinebeck sweater.
Yeah.
Plus, you could just, everyone wants a sweater.
It's fun, and it's fun to have just people make a sweater with.
Yeah.
Any yarn you can use.
Any yarn, any pattern.
Any pattern. If you choose to use one of our yarns, it has to be for you. But if you choose one of our yarns and you want to make a sweater, and a lot of times we don't have sweater quantities, so if you need a sweater quantity, you can contact us. Yeah. If you do that, you'll get an extra entry into the drawing. Mm-hmm. So we'll have
the winner will be able to choose a skein of yarn from each of our shops.
One for me. So you'll get 2 skeins of yarn.
Mm-hmm. 2 skeins of yarn, and maybe we'll throw something in else. Maybe
a stitch marker.
It's a pretty big knit along, so we'll see. Maybe a stitch marker.
So there's a couple other rules. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the rules.
Okay.
We want you to hashtag it on Instagram.
Yes.
Hashtag a picture of it, and tag us in it. Hashtag it with Rhinebeck Sweater 2017, and then tag us. Put at Yarn Café Creations and at Dragon Hoard Yarn, so that because
then it'll notify us.
Yeah, we will see it. Mm-hmm. So if you.
So I want to see them anyways. Maybe it's just me being selfish, but I really want to see your guys' progress on those.
So, and then our very very last admin thing is one thing that we wanted to talk about now. It's a little early.
Yeah.
But we have a special thing coming up for Christmas. A lot of people do advent calendars, and we decided, number one, mostly because it's a lot of work to do an advent calendar.
I don't want to do it.
Plus,
sorry,
we don't really want to do minis because I know minis, for me personally, minis are harder to do as a dyer, but they're things that I don't use all the time.
No, I don't.
So we wanted to do something that would be more usable. Mm-hmm. So what we decided to do is it's going to be our Naughty and Nice Yarn Club.
Yeah.
Yes, and what we'll do is in each of our shops, we will have it'll be a 3-month yarn club, but you will only sign up for 1 month at a time and pay for 1 month at a time. Mm-hmm. That way, every month, there's new people have an opportunity to get in on it.
Yes.
I don't want the first month to have all the spots taken by the same people. So I want everybody to have the same opportunity. And it will probably be only around 20 of each color, but we will each have a naughty colorway and a nice colorway.
So you can sign up for the club Nice, or you can sign up for the club Naughty in each of our shops.
So it'll be four different colorways though. I'll have a naughty one and a nice one, and she'll have a naughty and a nice one
for each
month. So
there'll
basically be 4 different yarn clubs. We won't show you what it is. It's a mystery club.
It'll be really cool because can I tell them like the whole thought behind it?
Yes.
Okay, so like the naughties would be something like cheated on a test colorway, or I stole from the cookie jar, or pulled my sister's hair.
I peeked at the presents.
Yeah. Maybe not cheated on a test then.
Yeah.
More related to Christmas.
Yeah, probably.
And then like the nice one could be like, I don't know. I can always think of naughty things.
I know you can.
But it'll be more along the lines of that. And all of them will be different each month from our shops. They won't be the same names with different colorways or anything. So if you're feeling super crazy, get all 4.
Holy cow.
Whatever.
But we want to give everybody an opportunity to sign up every month. So we'll just do that. It'll be the first colorway. It'll be pre-orders. We will start the first pre-orders on September 1st. That will ship out a month later.
On August 1st.
On August 1st. I know that may be a long timeline, but we may need that. It's getting
it's
to the busy
holidays,
time of year. And then, so on October 1st, we will ship them out, but we'll also post the slots for the next one,
and so on and so forth.
It'll go through 3 months. Yep. So you'll get yarn in October, November, and December. Now with the one, so it'll open up on September 1st, October 1st, and November 1st. So then we have till the end of November to ship out your December colorway. Is that right? Am I thinking of that correctly?
You are.
Okay. Yeah, they sign up November 1st for December's color. Anyway, it made sense in my head, but I wasn't sure it was coming out right. So anyway, that's a fun thing that we're going to be doing, and we haven't decided how many slots. Maybe, maybe let us know through Instagram or something if you are interested.
Yeah.
Kind of get a pre-count.
Get an idea.
Yeah, we don't want to overdo it and overwhelm ourselves, but at the same time, we want to have
accommodate everyone. Yeah.
And then the naughty color might be closer to darker colors or more vibrant colors, and nice might be closer to pastels and maybe some jewel tones or muted neutrals, more neutral. We don't know yet, or we just might not care. We might just
use a lot of,
it might be more about the name than the colors.
Because I don't use a lot of pastels.
I don't either
personally.
Well, I use more neutrals like tans and things like that, light gray. So it'll be fun.
But we just want to let you guys know that'll be rolling out on September 1st. So just keep that in mind. Yay. We'll be talking about it more later.
And we are trying to incorporate another yarn dyer, possibly.
Yes.
No, we weren't. That was something else.
No.
That was something else.
Yeah, no. Don't complicate things.
I'm confused sometimes.
Oh my gosh, you scared the crap out of me. My eyes got big and I'm like,
scary.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the end of our admin section. So thanks for sticking around for admin.
It's pretty long this time.
Yeah, we have a lot of good stuff coming up. But let's move on to our next segment, which is what's brewing.
Yes.
What do we have brewing?
I got a lot.
Should we start? Should I start?
You should. Go.
Because it's in my lap.
Yes.
The first thing I'm working on right now is I'm working on a hat pattern and that I'm going to publish. And I'm using my Tea and Crumpets colorway, which I can't even tell you. I really love this colorway. It's a soft, it's hard to see on the picture or on the screen, but it's a mauvey base, barely mauvey base in spots. And then it's got like an amethyst berry color and some mossy green, and there's actually some chocolate in there too that's speckled throughout. It's very delicately speckled. And I'm using my new worsted weight base, and it's 75% superwash merino. It is so soft. 25% nylon.
Yeah, I still have orders.
And and I'm using a size 6 needle, but I'm probably going to have to take this apart because I messed up and I wanted to switch needle sizes. But anyway, that will be hopefully published. I don't have a name for it yet. I'm using bamboos, which aren't my favorite anymore. I used to love them, but I had the right sizes available.
Yeah.
My other ones have stuff on them, so... Anyway, that is Tea and Crumpets from Yarn Café Creations on the yarn. Yes.
So, I'm going to do 2 of these at the same time because it's a little embarrassing. So, right now I'm using my Gimme a Crown bag, which is fast becoming my favorite thing to carry around with me right now.
That's cool.
It's little and it's perfect for socks and it's so cute and I love the pattern. I've been dying. I just love this thing right now so much. And her bags are just great. So it's Gimme a Crown on Etsy. So check her out. Her bags are fantastic.
They're snap closure. It's a plastic snap, and it's
I
so
love them.
cool.
So I really wanted to get some socks done, guys. I tried so hard, and then sweater hit me, and I just want to knit all the sweaters. The word sweater hit me, and I just
right upside the head.
Freaked out. Yeah. So I have been using. I think this was a one-of-a-kind that I got in my fiber share from my partner, from Plank and Stella, the dye behind Plank and Stella. This isn't Plank and Stella, though. And so I got this colorway, and it's a sport weight, and I've never knit with a sport weight, and so I need to take this entire thing apart.
Wait, who's dyed that then again?
This one, I don't know.
So who was the Plank and Stella? That's who you did your fiber share?
That's who I did my fiber share with.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then the toes were done with this color, just alternating through. And this was my booger colorway. from my Harry Potter yarn club for the mini set. So this was in the Birdie Bots Every Flavor beans, which is great. And I didn't do it right, so it's super big, super wide. So I'm going to take it apart and do it again because I didn't understand the whole, you can't cast on 54 stitches. You need to go down a little bit. So I did that.
It's a cool self-striping though.
I really like it. I think it's gorgeous. So I want to take it apart and do it again. And then these guys.
The tube socks.
I have so many of these hanging around. I was telling my mom earlier this week, like, I've made socks.
Lots of socks.
I just need to put the heels in all of them. And these are going to be so cute. And these are with Bad Wolf Girl Studios yarn. This is in her Galaxy colorway, which I'm obsessed with. And this is just one of my pink tonals. I think I called it Barbie World.
That's so cute, though.
So I haven't had it in my shop for a while, but I always can because it's super easy. But I love these socks. And so these are just a plain vanilla sock. I'm pretty sure these were, looking at the gauge, I think these were made on double zeros. Zeros or double zeros. And
that's so tiny.
Yeah, and so I did these on the 9-inch circulars. These I did on double pointed needles.
Yay!
I don't like it.
Oh. I do.
And maybe it's because I did it with a sport weight, so it's a different yarn I'm not used to, and so like maybe I'll just do it again. But I did that on size 1, and so these are my 0 to double zero. I'm not sure. I'm going to try that out again, but these are just for the SS Cal, which I will finish hopefully before next podcast. It is getting hot.
It is getting hot in here. But remember we were talking about your gauge too with the circular versus the double points. Yeah, and I think circular does mess up your gauge a little bit on the 9-inch circular, so I think that's why I have to go down so many sizes, because I really don't think I'm a tight knitter, or a loose knitter, I mean, because you're a tight knitter and apparently I'm a loose knitter. I don't think that's what it is. I think the 9-inch circulars kind of mess up your gauge, so I also got but I'm not a super
size 1 on 40-inch cables, and I do want to try that method as well with the, what is it called?
Magic Loop?
Magic Loop. So I want to try that next and see if it does anything else, because I don't like DPNs for that. I really don't. Switching needles too many times just is frustrating. So,
really?
Many new things in the works of sock making for me, but
I love those colors though. They're beautiful.
I really do love these colors.
I don't have any other works in progress.
You don't? No. I do. Okay, here we go. All right, so I am working on my test knit for Yarn Café Creations. I am in the middle of a row. That's embarrassing. You know what though? You know what I can do? Is I can just slip all of these stitches.
It's not really a test knit anymore because I already published it.
She doesn't care about my opinion, I decided. And I did this on a size 4 needle because I was out of my size. I wasn't out of my size 6. I don't know where my 40-inch cable is for my Hiya Sharps interchangeable sets. Okay, what? If you're ever if you're ever in the middle of a row, okay, this is I guess for podcasters, or if you are just showing someone your stuff, just slip all the stitches back onto the other needle, and you can go and pick them all back up later. So you don't have to knit the entire row. This is for you too, who likes to finish the row.
What?
And show things.
You don't know me.
So I'm just gonna slip all these back. But so she had me start test knitting this, and I did when I was basically high, apparently. And I was getting frustrated, and it was super fun.
She was asking for things that were unrealistic expectations.
I know, super unrealistic, and I was so mad at you that night. But this is such a fun knit, and so my shawl that I published is super beginner, and I think this would be a perfect, not to like toot our own horns, but this would be a perfect shawl to do after, because it teaches you more about different stitches, as well as the different shape of shawl, which I loved because I hadn't knit anything really like this before. So it's a triangular shawl. So I've done the Raina shawl, but this one was a little bit more.
It's a different kind of triangle.
Yeah, it's a lot wider of the triangle, and honestly, I thought it was a lot easier.
And
I really enjoyed
Meg,
it.
I just wanted to let you know, Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Studios.
She hates.
Doesn't like to purl. Doesn't like stockinette. So this is all garter. There's not a single purl stitch in this. Not one.
Yeah, because she still hasn't made the
what?
The shawl that she did the knit along with. For the changing staircases.
Meg.
Because it had stockinette in it.
I know.
I love that so much.
So, and it's funny because some people love that. Some people hate
I don't mind
garter.
either, honestly. I'm okay with either.
I prefer garter. It's very relaxing.
Here's where I'm at right now. So this top color is the Avalon colorway in Yarn Café Creations shop. And the second colorway
is not Nymphomania.
It's not Nymphomania.
It's
I think you should change it.
Nymph.
It's Forest Nymph. And so just the way that the pattern is, it teaches you more about, can I say the stitch type?
More about what?
These. Can I say what the stitch is?
About, just yarn overs and double yarn overs.
Yeah, yarn overs and double yarn overs, which is great. And I know that you're picky about having the center stitch with 2 stitch markers on either side, but that's what I prefer.
Well, and I didn't use any stitch marker on my first one. No, but it's easy to get lost on the center stitch sometimes.
It really is.
So I used the lobster claw one on my second one, and I
can't do that. I like doing this one better.
Yeah, if you do it, in the instructions I have both that you can do either way.
So here they are skeined up. So this is Avalon, and this is Nymphomania.
Forest Nymph. So for people that were asking for colors to go together, I think those ones really complement each other.
And it's it's not as big, as noticeable of a fade as maybe your other shawl that you did for the pictures, which is great for me.
For people that like a more subtle blending.
And I will actually wear these colors. Like if I did it bright pink and bright purple, I'd be like, this was fun. I'm never going to wear it again.
Right.
But I love these colors, and they're very, because of the speckling, because of the base, these could be put into a ton of different of these shawls.
Oh,
which is great.
Yeah, because it has greens in them, and there's oranges, and
purples. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just find what colors match your soul. And if you want to do the knit along, these are great colors to do it in. Honestly, I love it. And so these are housed in, which ones are these? This is one of my favorite bags. This is my Twisted Daisy.
Oh, that's right. But it's funny because I've got mine in my Bags by Awesome Granny, and it's the same.
Which is great. And I have my little. If you guys don't know, I use little pop Funko dolls on the ends. And I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT in all the movies. And I own all of those. Cost so much money. But it was an investment, and it takes up literally an entire shelf. But this is Goku. This is one of the characters from it, and it's something that me and my husband, he introduced me to it, so it's our thing. So it's on there because it's a great thing regardless. So my last work in progress, which I was really hoping would not be a work in progress anymore, and I apologize to everyone that I promised it was going to be.
You don't need to make promises you can't keep, Trysten.
And I can't keep this one.
Just quit being a promiser.
Oh, it's so bad. Anyways, I love it. So this is in my other Give Me a Crown bag, which is also just snap-tacular.
Snap-tacular?
Right?
I love that.
Thank you.
Nina, you need to put that on your Etsy shop, that your bags are snap-tacular. It needs to go on your labels or something.
Oh my gosh, I feel so humbled.
That's pretty snap-tacular.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I even have all of her little things on it. This is hers as well. My little other thing that I was using is hers.
Yes.
And they're all snappy.
We love the snappies.
Anyways, I love her shop. So I did not finish my So Faded sweater.
Andrea's going to be disappointed in you tomorrow.
She's going to be so mad at me. I bet she's
I'm going to be waving my fade around you and be like, hey, I got mine done.
Well, that's why I'm making her
I'm not even bringing mine tomorrow.
No, you better not.
It's
way
too
hot. That's what I was thinking. It wouldn't even matter if I finished my So Faded because she's not going to see me in it. Anyway, so here we are. I did finish the body, and I'm working on a sleeve. So this is my Follow the Wisps colorway, which I don't right now have in my shop, but I will, because I know how to make it now. And the second color is my Forenzi colorway, which I love. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. This is going to be in so many things for fall.
And that would even go well with the shawl you're making right now.
Oh, I know.
It's got
I think that'd be so pretty.
And
this is my Always color on my fairy base. So I went to Sparkle. And then I got some Bad Wolf Girl Studios yarn. And this is the Ginny Weasley colorway, which I love. And I didn't know if it was going to work, but
Totally does.
I think it does. I really like it.
Does the pattern have the splits on the bottom, or did you?
No, I put these in as well. I didn't do short rows on it. I just kind of made it boxed.
Which I have on store-bought sweaters, and it looks amazing.
So instead of just putting it directly down the side, what I do with these is, because you want a little bit more in the back than you do in the front, so I pull it one stitch in on either side when I'm doing the front.
So you don't split it evenly.
I don't split it evenly. So if you look at it, you'll see it might be 1 or 2 stitches in that I did it. And so you'll have more coverage on the back than you do the front.
Great idea.
And I always prefer it that way because I got a booty. And so it stretches stuff anyway. So I need a little bit more girth on this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about doing that because I made a sweater like that. And you're right, it doesn't, if you split it evenly, it almost doesn't look right.
Yeah. So I did it that way. So if I think on the back, what I ended up doing is when I started ribbing on the front, that's as many more just stockinette that I did on the back. And then as soon as those were even, I started ribbing on the bottom. So
that's really cool though.
That's an idea. I think I'm going to do those on all mine. I know me and Meg have been collaborating on ours a little bit, and she did short rows in the back, which I think is also accommodating to booties. So that's great. So that's what I've been working on, and then I got sidetracked because someone's having a baby, and I had to make something, which I love.
We'll talk about that.
I love it. But I cannot wait until this is done because of this sweater, I have so many more sweaters like put aside in my mind, and like all the colorways like ready. Like I want to make another So Faded. I want to make a So Faded without fading. And just make a regular sweater, but I want to make it like 2 sizes bigger so that it's a slouchy, because I really love the construction of the sweater and the sleeves up here.
It would be fun to make one in bulky.
That would be fun, but you'd have to figure out gauge.
Yeah, you could.
But so I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with that. And so this little thing is also with my Gimme a Crown thing. So I didn't know if I wanted to do the mid sleeves, not right here, or if I wanted to do the full length, and I saw someone else's sweater. I'm like, I'm going full. So
you went full?
I'm going to. So I have to backtrack because I just changed to my always colorway way too soon. So I'm going to have to accommodate that differently.
Well, that is so pretty, though. I love the color scheme.
Thank you.
The teals in it are just so pretty.
I'm really enjoying it. So here's the Ginny Weasley colorway, the always colorway that has a stick in it. And
those knitters and their sticks.
I know. And then this is my Forenzi colorway, which is back in my shop.
Yay.
For fall. So it's my always.
You might be able to pair Trysten's yarn with my yarn too for a faded sweater. You know, make sure you look around to different dyers because
there's a lot of great dyers out there, and a lot of people are starting to gear more towards fall colors as well.
Yeah,
and so a lot of our colors are going to be similar, but just think about the fading that you can do with that because of the similarities.
Oh, so
love it. Okay, so I think those are all
your works in progress.
Those are all what I'm working on right now because I finished something like right before we started podcasting.
Well, we're going to move on to the next segment. Will be I wonder what's in this.
Yes.
I don't have a ton of stuff this time.
I think we both have one.
And then I also ordered a couple of things that I already opened because I knew what they were. So I'm going to show real quick my coolest, newest thing. The story is I moved and I found everything that goes in my yarn room except for my ball winder. Could not find my ball winder anywhere. And secretly I'm kind of glad because I wanted to get a new ball winder anyway. So I purchased a Stanwood. Look at this.
I need to get one.
I almost got that in my mouth.
Yeah, I know.
I am so excited. Look at that. It like goes one way and then this goes the other. And it's this heavy metal stuff. And it has a wider grip. So my other one, it had a smaller grip. I couldn't fit it on a counter or like my table here. I had to fit it on something smaller.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got that in the mail. So I'm excited about that. And then, you got some. Okay.
So when we went to our knit night the other night, I got a couple more things. And they matched my other one, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's the exact same yarn. It was $5 though. It was in the $5 bin. So I could go from making like a chunky cowl or a, heavy shawl. Now I can make a sweater.
Yes, you can.
I'm so excited because now I have enough yarn and it's all matched. Worsted? Great. Yes.
And it's by Plymouth or is it Barocco?
I think it's Barocco. No, yeah, it's Barocco. So it's just vintage.
Worsted.
I was just saying dye lot. So numbers
on Baroccos.
Yes, and then while I was there, I got my first hedgehog fibers. It's
beautiful. They have some beautiful hedgehog. I
just love, because we saw this last time too, and this is like that purple. I'm amazed what color is this. So this is the Aroma colorway, and her base is...
It's different than any I've ever heard of.
Yeah, so it's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon.
Yeah.
And so it's 400 meters. She must not be from the U.S.
No, well, I'm going to her...
I know, it's in Ireland.
I don't know if that's where their base is. I don't know.
You might meet her. But I love these colors. You never would think that like that gold and that purple would go together. And it is like pretty much that vibrant. Yeah, it's like a greenish gold, but I was still thinking about this yarn after I left, so I'm like, hey, next time I have to buy it. And hers is thinner than ours. And I'm really excited to see how it knits up, because I'm so used to our yarn.
And it feels like it would be really drapey. Ours is really plump, so it's fluffy and lofty. This is less lofty, but it feels like it'll drape really great for shawl.
Yes.
It feels a lot like my South American wool.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. I got that. And then, so one of the things I was knitting on this week, I got these new knitting needles when we went up there, and they're called Bryson needles. They're made in India, and it's made with rosewood.
I didn't know you got those.
Yeah, so I put my other ones in there that I was using as well, but there's these little brown ones.
They gave you different colors?
No, these are, I'm housing them because I didn't have a house to put these in.
I like that.
But I've never even heard of the Bryson ones before, and so I was excited to try them out. I actually really like them. I'm so used to the bamboo needles when I'm doing like the DPNs, but these ones, the bamboo, they're always like pretty consistent with the curve that they have, and these ones are a lot, if you can look at it, they're a lot wider from like the point to the mid.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get that?
Yeah.
And
is that good or bad?
They were hard at first to like get used to.
Seems like your stitches
but I really love them. Yeah, they don't slip off as easily, but they have almost a coating on them that obviously the clovers don't. So they're
farm truck.
I have to say, when I was coming here, there's a guy driving a tractor.
Yeah.
Pulling probably 10 to 12 oil drums that had been cut out and cleaned out, and they were all in a line, and there were kids in them.
That's so that's so not legal.
I see, so every time I come here to podcast, there's something different.
Oh.
I love it. But so I actually really enjoyed these because they're comfortable. I wonder if they're ergonomic. I don't know. I really like them. So that was my last acquisition from the yarn shop. Go ahead with yours.
Well, I placed an order with Knit Picks because they had a sale, so I thought, you know what? I don't order a lot of their yarn. That's their stuff, like they have a speckled line too, and I kind of wanted to try their speckled line.
Yeah,
so I don't order a lot from them, but I got some cotton. So I got this color,
and I like that color.
I do too. It's called Clementine, and I ordered.
Start on the floor.
Okay, I might have to. This one, which is like a coral, and it's called conch, like a conch shell.
Oh.
This one is brown, and its official color name is coffee.
Oh, look at that.
How appropriate is that? And this color is called linen.
Okay.
And there's a reason I ordered these. I'll talk about in a second. This one's ash, like my daughter's name. And this one kind of goes with it. It's silver. Yeah, ash, like my daughter Trysten, whose name is not Ash.
I'm saying that one's Ash, this one's Trysten.
Ash and silver, maybe. Okay, the reason I did that is because I want to make, there's kind of a craze going on right now with market bags. And I had made this market bag years ago. Yeah. I crocheted it. And I want to make a knitted version, but I want to make it wider at the mouth. So you can fit a box of Lucky Charms in it if you go to the grocery store. I mean, that's important. You need to have Lucky Charms. So, and it's not quite wide enough for that. But it would be great for just going to like a farmer's market and throwing in some veggies.
I need some for a farmer's market like that.
So I made a bottom. Anyway, it's probably dirty because I've used it. It's got some tape on it. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm going to make some market bags. I might design some and I'm just going to throw them in my designer Ravelry shop with my other pattern. Because all my other, I have, with all my pattern in there. Yeah, so that's what I acquired. Do you have, we did get some packages.
We did actually get packages.
Okay.
So I did a swap with Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Studios and Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits on YouTube. I love her podcast. She's been having so many issues with it right now. I feel so bad for her. Oh. She had to like re-upload one video, like this is the third time. And then I was just texting her because she sent a notification. She's like, episode 38 coming out. And so I'm like waiting and waiting. I'm like, okay, so it won't be out today. It's probably uploading. And I messaged her this morning. I'm like, what the crap? And she's like, something happened and they're like traveling. And so it won't actually upload until she gets back. So she's just having rotten luck with it. It's sad. Anyways, but we did a swap because she is putting some colors of mine in her So Faded. And I want more of this color because I have plans for this color. Let's see. Crinkle. Ooh. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is her card. And so this is the... she gave me a merino one.
Nice.
This is merino.
Is it 100% merino?
I don't know.
Well, everybody...
LMC? What's the LMC?
Is it something merino and cashmere?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So it's the Galaxy Yarn. It's on Sparkle. So it's 70, 20, and 5%. I'm so excited. So, way to show off my yarn before I can even...
I wasn't showing it off.
So here's the Galaxy colorway, which I'm obsessed with. I just love this color so much. So this is what my socks were in. I think it was a more heavier blue base for that one, but that was like months and months ago. That was a long time ago. So I'm excited about the pinks. And they're a little bit more. So I have plans for this day, and I'm so happy with it. Anyways, you can go ahead. I'm just going to sit here and go like this.
Because I want to see what mine looks like.
Okay.
I ordered some yarn from our good friend, Amy from Periscoping Sisters
Amy.
podcast.
And Debbie.
Love Debbie. And they are both designers, and Amy started doing yarn dyeing recently. Mm-hmm. And she's got bags, Mr. Indigo's bags that her and her husband have on Etsy. But I ordered some of her hand-dyed yarn. I kept telling Trysten, every time I go in there, the ones that I want are gone. Oh, so I gotta open this. Label. It is. It's a vellum. She put some tea in here, some orange and spice. That's the kind
of. I had that one.
I had that last week.
That's the honey and spice.
Look at how beautiful that is. I love it with the purple and green, and it's got brown, like a rusty brown in it, and a dark brown. Oh, that's beautiful. Look how pretty that is.
I really like that.
Oh, and the base is her sock. It's a 75 merino, 25% nylon. Oh, I love that. Isn't that so beautiful?
Oh, I really like that.
Yes.
And then here's their
Indigo Color Co. So go check her out on Etsy. That is so pretty.
That's
those are gorgeous colors together.
Yeah, never would have thought that.
Looks so good in person. I'm loving it.
Is that the one that you were waiting for?
There's been several that I've gone on there to buy, and they've been gone.
And they're gone.
So exciting. So go check out her shop. And that's all I have this week for acquired items.
Me too.
So why don't we talk about things that we have finished, our finished brews.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about yours? Because
I have one.
She worked so hard to finish this.
I have one.
Today.
Okay, so I stayed up last night until after midnight, and I'm like, gosh, this isn't gonna happen. And so I went to bed, and I was almost done. I had 20 rows left. And so I got here, and I was telling my mom, and then we ate food, and we always take forever to get ready. And so during that whole time, I've just been knitting and knitting and knitting. And I finished my first baby sweater. Actually, my first sweater ever.
It's so cute.
So
is it a one skein?
It looks like my sleeve lengths are wrong. They might be. I need to fix it anyways. It was a one skein.
No, not too bad.
They match. So it was a one skein, and this is the flax sweater from Tin Can Knits. This is the baby version, and so I think this is for a 4-month-old baby, 4 to 6.
This right here.
And so it has these little pearls right there. I literally just finished, so all my things are everywhere. This is in it's just my bow colorway, which is my Brave colorway that I brought back for fall as well. And I'm probably making me a sweater out of this, honestly, because I love these colors. Yeah, you have your squished ball of it.
Yes.
But I made this because, so I threw this on my needles on Monday because I have a baby shower coming up, and I thought it was today, but it's next Saturday. So, well now I don't have to do anything. That's the whole reason I didn't finish my So Faded. I'm going to blame it on that.
Yep.
I'm going to blame it on the sweater.
It sounds good. It's legit.
But it just turned out super cute.
I love it.
So this is technically my first sweater. And I haven't blocked it. But the bottom is very squishy looking. But when it's blocked, it'll come out here. But I did a stretchy bind off because I heard from moms it's
easier to get over
you want to be able to pull that over the head. Yes. And then on the sleeves, I didn't do a stretchy bind off. Because you want to be able to keep the sleeves in place where they're at on babies because they're pulling at things. So I did it that way. And this is the first sweater, or one of the first things anyways, that the counts were correct the entire time. I didn't have to go back and see where I messed up. It's a very easy sweater. So if you're really new to sweater knitting, the flax sweater pattern by Tin Can Knits, so easy. I think that's probably the next thing that's going to be on the needles for me. So
that's good. That might be your Rhinebeck sweater.
It might be my Rhinebeck sweater. Good. I think I'm going to make a couple.
Well, my next finished object was my second Moving to the Country shawl. I needed to make a second one to check my counts and everything, and it's not blocked. And you can tell the difference, right?
It's not gigantic.
And I just used a burgundy solid. And I used a one-of-a-kind colorway that I had in stock from one of my yarn dyeing experiments. And I might make that color because I love how it turned out.
Yeah.
So that's
I like it with this.
Yeah, so this is kind of an example of what you can do with different patterns. You don't have to follow the colors. It almost looks like a shirt. That would be a cute sweater. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, back to the shawl. So that's my second one, and I still have to weave in the ends and block it, but technically I'm counting it. We're going to count ours.
I always count mine.
Okay, we're going to count them. That's the new rule. But anyway, that's in my shop now as a pattern. Go check it out. And do you have any more finished? Oh, and I have one more, and I'm going to publish this as a free pattern. It's my hat that I make for Vaughn that he loves. It's pretty basic. It's so easy for a new hat maker. And I finished it. I started it one night and worked on it for an hour. I finished it the next night in an hour and a half. It's really fast. I used size 9 needles and a worsted weight that I dyed in the avocado colorway. And I feel it. It's a scratchier wool that I use. It's 100% wool that is not merino. But it's so cute.
Just a skull cap beanie.
So easy, and you can adjust it for different sizes. I made one for Aiden.
Make it longer if you want a slouchy.
Yep, and I made it for Aiden, and I made a matching one for JD, his daddy, for Christmas 2 years ago. So that's super, super easy. So I'll be publishing that pattern. I don't have a name for it yet.
Okay.
But I'll think
just call it the Vaughn hat.
I could call it that, but I'm not sure how he'd feel about that. He doesn't even want to model it for me.
Oh, yeah. He could only model it with your cat.
I know. I made a cat version of it. I should publish that too.
You need to publish a cat version.
I didn't write it down. But anyway, those are all my finished objects. So our next segment is I'm dyeing here.
Okay. So this last week, we published our Psycho Summer colorways. And we've had such a great response. Everyone's been so nice about them, and our shops have been super busy this week.
We made more.
Yes, we made more, and those are updated now. So if you want to go check those out in the shop, they're there. Let's give you a quick preview of what we did with those this week.
Okay. The first one that I made is called Venom. And what our theme was on these is we wanted to have a phobia themed collection, because we wanted to kind of get ready for Halloween and autumn. And I mean, Halloween is all about crazy, scary, all the scary movies are about people with mental issues. And not that I ever make fun of mental issues, but it's kind of fun sometimes to look at some of the obscure phobias out there. And so I named this one, and I shouldn't say obscure because there are people that have these, but this one's called Venom. It's a black base with orange, gold, and green with a matching green mini. And this Venom is named after the fear of reptiles and amphibians. Mm-hmm. So that's Venom. That's in my shop. This one actually went really fast, so I've got more in there, and that's available.
Okay, so my first one that I made was inspired by the fear of witches and witchcraft, and I named it Cackle. And so you get... let me squish it.
One.
So it has a purple base with other speckles of different dark purple
pretty.
in it, with some bright greens, some blacks in there, and then it comes with a bright green mini.
Perfect.
That is speckled throughout it. And so, Cackle, witches.
I get it.
Okay.
Okay, and this next one is called It's Looking at Me. And this is a navy blue with red and bright pink in it, and a little bit of gold. And It's Looking at Me is named after the fear of dolls, wax figures, and puppets, things that look or represent like a human form but are not real. So that's It's Looking at Me.
Okay, and this next one I don't have the mini with it, but just know that it's a red mini. So this is my Widow colorway. That's for my fear of spiders, or Tony. And so we have a variegated gray base, and then we have shots of dark red and some black in there. So it's very basic for a Black Widow colorway. And yes, I don't have the red that comes with it. There's a closer look. There's a red mini that goes with it, but it's the same red that I used for my Grim colorway for the blood. I really like how it dyes up. It does look like blood.
It's very Christmas red too. Very Christmassy, the red one, the red color. Yeah. Okay, the next one for me is called Sweet Tea, and it's lavender with a orangey color and a berry and a matching berry mini, and it also has teal in it. And this one is named Peach Tea, and it's named after the phobia of poison or being poisoned. So, Sweet Tea. Okay.
So this one was my only one that didn't really fall into the fall category.
It kind of does, though.
It kind of does, because it looks like kind of the fruit of fall.
And leaves.
So this color is called Peekaboo, and this is the fear of children.
Who knew?
Well,
what's to fear?
Well, you think about... and it comes with this bright blue mini, because you have in it some different shots of the bright blue. And we've got some green in there, and yellows, and some reds.
I love it.
So there's that. But, I mean, if you think of the fear of children, like, if you think of horror movies, what's something that a lot of them have? You hear children singing or laughing in them. So, I mean, there is a foundation for it. It's not just like movies, in scary movies. But the thing is, when you look at the scary movies, like, where did they get the idea for that? Why is that scary?
I don't know.
You have to think about it.
Creepy.
Like I can understand like the innocence of children, or the possibility of like children becoming evil. I don't know.
And my last one, I need you to grab the green.
Oh.
My last one is after the fear of cemeteries.
I love this one.
And I do too. And I had to go with that because this colorway reminds me of Frankenstein. So it's a green, a true green, Frankenstein green with black, gold, and purple in it, with a purple mini. I love this color.
I do too.
I'm not normally a green person.
This would actually probably be knee-high socks for me.
Oh, so
I think that would be awesome.
With the big pop of purple in the middle. So anyway, that one's called Catacombs After the Fear of Cemeteries.
Love that.
And Trysten was an overachiever, and she did another one.
No, this is my 4th one, and then I have another one.
She has 5.
I have 5. Sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry. I'm happy.
So this one is something I can kind of relate to, but it's more like I have an irrational fear of werewolves following me. And it's great. And so this one is called Don't Leave the Path, because it's the fear of the woods, especially the woods at night. And so this comes with a black mini to kind of accentuate those black speckles. This one has
very autumny. I love it.
Yeah, this one's super autumny. I actually might put this into a faded with a lot of my other autumn colorways that I have going on right now.
It'll go well with this one.
I'll show it.
Yes.
It has some orange in there. Honestly, how I got this orange is amazing. If you look in there, and look, there's some mauve in there and some black speckling. So I think this is gorgeous. And she's just showing me my sandcastles colorway.
They would go great together.
Has like a fade.
Because all it changes is because the base looks just like the same color.
Very similar.
The speckles are different. And the colors without.
So I love this colorway. But this isn't even my most popular one from this combination. My most popular one I don't have because I sold out.
Oh, again. So we'll have to put that in.
So I'll put that up. Yeah, as a picture right here. And it's called Trick or Treat. And it is the fear of Halloween.
That's perfect.
I think it's great. But so it's going to have a black base. It almost is like a charcoal base because of how it variegated on the skein, which I'm in it doing it every time. I love it. But then I have like 8 different oranges in it that gives it this really cool effect. And then it comes with an orange mini. So that's called Trick or Treat. And then, so those are all for our Psycho Summer colorways that we have for our collection that we collaborated on together.
Yes.
And those are only going to be available, well, I don't know. I might bring those back.
And I forgot I have another colorway that I needed to show.
But right now for the collection, I think we're only going to offer that through the month of July, we decided. And then we might bring the colorways back without the
fall kit. Or something, yeah. So we also wanted to kind of show, I have another new color that I posted. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what I named it.
I know, but that's in your shop.
Yes, it's in my shop. Pretty. It's a berry color with fall colors in it. So it's got browns, oranges, and greens in it. Oh, what did I name it? I can't even remember.
Mix that with the chocolate.
Yeah, it seems like I named it. I don't remember. It's in there.
Throw it on the screen, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll throw it on the screen if I remember to do that. So that's one color. And then just wanted to show you, I brought back and restocked my Lavender Fields, which is pretty popular. This one's on the fluffy sock. And you can see the difference. It is pretty fluffy. And then I also restocked my pumpkin carving. I figure since we're bringing out the fall ones. I do too. I really love that. So those are in the shop now again too.
So I got a little bit of a late start on some Bright Fun summer colorways because I ordered some Bright Fun colors at the end
of dyes.
Yeah. Just recently. So I was playing with, I had to go through so many colors to figure out what I wanted to do for our Psycho Summers. So this was one of them, and I named it Heat Wave. And so it's just the natural base, and it has a bunch of bright orange in there, and then this fluorescent yellow.
Yes.
And I love it.
It's really bright.
Yeah. The orange comes across more too in person. But so this one's called Heat Wave. And then I think I showed this one I showed this one on my Instagram. So I did this one. It's just going to be super bright. It's almost hard to look at on the screen.
It's like really reflective, the lighting.
But I was playing with this one, and the colors in it are like bright blues, and I got some reds in there, and the base is like the variegated, so you have different levels of yellow throughout it. And this just reminds me of like little boys' sneakers when I was growing up. And so it doesn't remind Eric, and he just is like, that looks dumb, or that name is dumb. But so I just imagine like bright colored toys and things like that. Yeah. So I decided to call it Dinosaurs Rawr.
I like it though.
So that's what I named it. So I have a bunch of these, and I think I'm only going to keep these through July though, because autumn colors and stuff like that, and winter and stuff. So these might just be exclusive. So check them out before they're all gone. I don't know if I'm going to dye anymore. I think I have like 5 or 6 in the shop right now. So I got that going on. It's
definitely bright.
It's definitely bright. I love it. I think it's super cute. And then this one is one that I was going to dye for the Psycho Summer, but I fell in love with it, and I'm just going to keep it in the shop because it's super pretty. So this one is called Witch Hazel. And so you have this almost, I love the base. What would you call that base?
I was going to ask you. It's like a goldish.
Like goldish brown.
Yeah, it's like a bronzy.
Mm-hmm. But we got some burgundy in there, some teal. And then it's not dyed all the way through, so you still have some of the natural coming through. I dyed some teal to go with this for me and for someone else. I'm probably going to make a shawl with this, honestly. I might make your shawl with this. This is one that I have planned. So I'm going to offer that combination in the shop, I think.
That's great.
If anyone wants to get it. But I love it so much. So that's my Witch Hazel that is in there. And I also made another one on that base because I really liked it. And this one is called Harvest. So it's very similar. But we have a little bit, so it's more peachy. It has some greens in there that have come through unintentionally, which has been great. And so there's just pops of all this color in it.
So pretty, and I like that name. It's so fitting.
Mm-hmm. So this one's Harvest, and I think I posted a picture on my Instagram of like these 3 together.
Those would be so pretty in a fade. So
that's my Harvest colorway, and that's something I'm going to be keeping in my shop probably until the end of the year as well. So I just all that speckling right there.
So pretty.
I love all the colors that came in it, and then the pink.
So autumny too. I mean, it's perfect for the season.
I think that was a mistake one though too. But I mean, thankfully I'm writing everything down as
Summer just started like 2 weeks ago.
We all want to make sweaters.
Can't wait for the fall.
I know. So this was one that I didn't know what to name it. And so I posted on Instagram, and everyone's like, why don't you call it like Biohazard or like Sludge? And I'm like, thanks,
because it's too pretty for that.
It's just so weird because it has a mauve base, and then we have all these bright colors. And then someone was super sweet, and it's like, what about Jungle Orchid?
I like
that. That is perfect. Thank you for not making me feel like it's nasty. I know it's a weird color, and I know no one was trying to be rude or anything, and I don't think it was rude.
It's got the bright
I'm really just joking about, honestly. I think those would have been really fun colors too, but it just fits for that. So this one's Jungle Orchid. I don't know if I'm going to make more of it. There's only 2 in the shop, so if you want it, limited edition sludge thing. And this was one that was also going to be a Psycho Summer, but it's too pretty. And
it's too pretty.
It's too pretty.
We only do the ugly ones.
Yeah. So this one is called Strawberry Wine, like the song. So we have kind of a peachy pink base on there.
I like that name though.
I do too. I think it's really pretty.
It is.
Different variations of reds, burgundies. So there's Strawberry Wine.
Oh, so pretty.
And I think I only have 2 of that right now in the shop too. This one is my favorite. I made this one. Can you grab the sandcastles?
I was just looking for it because I'm like, where's it?
I made this one almost on purpose to go with my sandcastles colorway. But this one that I have isn't actually, I messed up on it. So just bear with me. So this is my Shoreline colorway. And this one is a little mistake because it has greens in here, and under the label I don't know how I got pink on it. So
it happens sometimes
in the dye rooms. But I love it. But if you look at the top right here, that is what Shoreline is. And so I made it to go.
It'll go so perfectly.
I know. So it's actually the same speckling in both of them, just different bases. And this is the one that actually intentionally I do want to make your shawl out of.
That is so pretty.
It's going to be so pretty. Dude, this is the main color and this is the contrasting.
Okay, then I won't.
Huh?
I was gonna make it out of it. No, but I won't because I have another idea I'm gonna do.
Okay, you can make it. I don't care.
No, it's.
Or
so
I might make a. I was also I know I talk about sew faded all the time, but Michelle from the Knotty Knit Wits, she made her sew faded out of your colors, but she only used 2 colors.
No, that was only Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm mixing up their names.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyways, Leslie. So she used your ocean mist and your pumpkin carving.
Yes.
But she alternated skeins and faded them back and forth into each other.
It looks
and
so
I think this.
That would be so
I
beautiful.
would do that with these.
Yes.
So that is the end of all my many, many colorways that I have right now.
Great. So I'm done. That was our I'm dying here. So go to our shops for all of those colorways.
Mm-hmm. So and again, I just updated all my fall colors that even some of them I had retired. All the fall colors are back up in there for me. We have our Psycho Summer colorways ready to go. So
I'm putting a lot of mine back in there. Rail car is coming back.
I'm so excited about your rail car.
I think I just put it back in there actually. So
really?
Anyway, yes. So
okay, so that is the end of our I Am Dying Here segment, and that is the end of all the knit related speech, talk, conversation stuff. We are going to move along to our heavy cream segment. And so if you're here for knitting and knitting related things, we'll just say goodbye to you right now. That's totally fine, and we'll see you next time. For those who are here for wanting to hear our heavy cream segment.
Yes, it is time for heavy cream.
Yes.
Yay. So we had a couple requests, which I'm so glad that somebody spoke up and said, hey, have you thought about talking about this? And it's a topic that we both have dealt with clients and in our various work settings, and now that I'm aware of it as a mental health professional, then I notice it more.
Yeah.
And I think back to my life and think, oh, I probably did this. But anyway, the topic is boundaries.
Yes.
And there are different kinds of boundaries.
Yeah. So if you... Personally, when I first started working in the mental health field, when I thought of boundaries, I'm like, oh, physical boundaries, like getting in people's bubbles. And there is a physical aspect of it, but it's also the emotional aspect of it, personal values, social. Yeah, there's so many different types of boundaries that a lot of people are not necessarily always aware of. And sometimes that can make a person come across a certain way to people, or... someone could get offended.
It can also cause you to have anxiety because you don't know how to set boundaries.
Yes. And so there are a lot of different avenues related to boundaries with this.
Yes. And the most obvious one we talked about is physical boundaries, which actually is the least worrisome. I mean, it can be very scary to have someone cross a physical boundary. Obviously, there are bad things that can happen. But the kind of boundaries I see more often are more emotional boundaries, where someone either doesn't know how to set their own emotional boundaries, so they're constantly getting taken advantage of, but then, and they know that they're getting taken advantage of, but they don't know how to stop it. Causes people to get in over their heads with a lot of things. One of the best examples I heard Brene Brown talk about. She's a great researcher on boundaries and about shame, and she said, she goes, I would be that parent that they'd come to me and say, can you make 100 cupcakes for our fundraiser, next week? And she'd say, sure. And in her head, she's like, I don't have time for this, and then, they'd say, okay, we need them by this date. Okay, I'll do it. Not a problem at all. And then the whole time she's making them, she's like, the stupid people at that school, do they not understand that I have better things to do in my life? And, and so basically sometimes if you don't set your boundaries, you're going to get yourself into things that you may end up resenting people. You may end up blaming people, when in actuality, learning how to set boundaries can relieve so much stress in your life. Yeah. And recognizing when you are crossing boundaries also. Yeah, because recognizing other people's boundaries and recognizing that your boundaries aren't going to mirror everyone else's is such a huge aspect of interacting with people and not being socially awkward, or being that one person, if you understand what I'm saying. Explain it. Can you explain
that? Well, I'm trying to.
Yes.
But okay, so for me, I have a lot of physical boundaries that I like to set, because touching and hugging and things like that, it is uncomfortable for me for a lot of a lot of the times, like, I had to learn how to change that with the culture of the girls' home that I worked at with the treatment center. But just people in regular life, like, crossing those boundaries or touching me on my shoulder, or the worst thing is people coming up and going like that to me.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Because my hair is so long, people will just come up and just touch my hair. And that makes me so incredibly uncomfortable to the point of I almost want to, like, either escape or, like, attack in those instances. Like, I either want to punch you or I want to run away from you. But the thing is, with other boundaries, like emotional boundaries or conversation topics or things like that, like, I'm an open book. You can talk to me about all these different, maybe even inappropriate topics to conversation, and I'm completely fine with that. But I wouldn't go to someone else who I didn't necessarily know that about.
Right, and that's what I was going to bring up too. Is sometimes when we're comfortable with something, and like you're comfortable talking about any topic, but it's not always appropriate to go to someone that maybe you don't know well, or maybe you do know, but you don't know that this is uncomfortable for them to talk, about certain topics. So sometimes it's just as easy as saying, your hair is beautiful. Can I just touch it? Would you mind? And that's her opportunity to say, actually, I don't really like it when people touch my hair. Or if she's prepared, she might be able to say,
I'm a little bit better about
it. I'm glad you asked, because it bothers me when people just walk up and do it without asking.
Yeah.
That's creating a boundary. Then that person understands what the boundary is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even know that you're crossing boundaries.
No, like boundaries was it was actually a training topic at that program that I worked at, where, like, we had a lot of girls that came in that didn't understand social boundaries because they had been so okay with everyone just either, like, walking all over them or mirroring themselves to match everyone else so that they were accepted by everyone.
Yeah, to be accepted.
Yeah, and so I had one of these girls, the first time my husband ever visited was to... Like, we had a very unfortunate circumstance happen, and so he brought board games and movies and, like, treats for the girls, and so we could all just kind of, like, relax and hang out that day. And one of the girls came up and started talking to him about tampons. And she wasn't the type of girl who would have done that for attention. She just didn't necessarily understand that was a boundary crossing, because she'd been living with girls for so long as well, and she hadn't been really interacting with men as much. But so she didn't see anything wrong with that. When I talked to her later about it, I'm like, hey, that was a little inappropriate. Just maybe, like, how would we have done that differently? And she's like, oh, I would talk to anyone about that kind of stuff. And not everyone is prepared to hear that stuff or know how to react to that.
Well, in your situation, you also were in an environment where a lot of those girls may have had some disorders that were starting to come out.
Yeah.
And there are a few disorders in mental health where boundaries are not clear.
Yes.
There are some disorders where, and I know we've all met people in our lives that are oversharers. Like, you walk away from a person and going, wow, I just met that person and I know their life story.
Yes.
And also, and I'm not saying that everybody that does that has a disorder.
No,
but,
like, Eric had something like that happen to him at work. Like, it was his first day. He was a temp on the job. By the time he got home, he was able to tell me basically this man's life story, all the struggles that he was going through at the moment, like his wife's history, her family, everything about his kids. And it wasn't all like, oh, I have kids. It was very unfortunate things that were happening.
Yeah, and it's hard for a person to understand what is your goal. Why do you feel like I'm a perfect stranger? You don't know. Why do you feel that I might be comfortable and want to hear all of that? Years and years ago, I worked with a lady that, and I did know her because I worked with her all the time, but it was so uncomfortable every day that she would talk about her family.
Oh, was it not this girl?
No.
Okay.
This was more of an emotional boundary crossing, talking for hours and hours and hours about her family and things going on in her family, even if they were good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's great that you want to share about your family, and I love it when people share.
Yes.
But to spend hours upon hours upon hours where I felt like I couldn't even get up and walk away, that can be a boundary crossing. And another form of boundary crossing I think that a lot of people do that don't realize it, and I know I've done it, is we may internally be feeling like we need some validation because we're going through hard things in our life. And you don't even realize your brain is doing this. So you start reaching out to people for comfort and support in ways that may not be healthy. Like telling people about personal things in your life to get sympathy.
Yeah, I was going to say almost sympathy.
Like you're expecting or you need from them I am so sorry you're going through that. That must be really hard. Yeah. You know,
well, I remember
and
that
that's okay
growing up.
Yeah, but it's okay to do that to people that we are truly close to that, you know, but sometimes it does, and I'm sure you can tell the difference if you're listening to people, you know, because there's people in our lives that were like, why didn't you tell me that about you? Why am I just learning this? Why didn't you tell me? You want to know. You want to be there to support them. But then there are other people that it seems like there's constantly things that they're sharing that you're going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. And then you start looking at them like they are always so negative. Yeah. They only tell me when bad things are going on. Why, you know, that can be a boundary crossing too for people.
And I don't think we're saying any of these as if someone comes to you for like support or anything like that, like don't help them. But it's like I just want to make sure that we're putting it across obviously as like if someone needs support and like you're close and you're friends and stuff like that, makes sense to go get support from someone. But going up to like people you just met maybe that day and telling them something very difficult that you're going through at the moment, that might be a boundary crossing depending on the person. Yeah. So it always is depending on the person.
Well, and I was taught too in school that, because a lot of times as a new therapist, we don't know what the client, if they're trying to gain sympathy or if they really are just telling me something so that I can help them. And so one of my professors said, if you walk out of a session going, or even in life, if a friend tells you something and you walk away going, God, why do they do that to me? Like, why? I was having a good day again, and they brought me down. They're constantly bringing me down. Like, that person might be crossing boundaries with you, and you may have to stand up and say, you know, I love you and I want to be there for you. But, you know, you're always negative, and I don't know, you know, I don't know how you could say it, but I would want to know. Like, if I was bringing someone down all the time, I'd want them to tell me.
You know, and it's really, really hard to, if you're not used to setting your own boundaries, it's really hard to get in the habit of learning how to do that, especially with people close to you. I know in my own personal life, actually, me and Eric have had rough patches. And before I started working in the mental health field and learning more about it through school, I was kind of a doormat in a lot of circumstances and walking on eggshells. And I mean, in every circumstance, there's going to be all these different factors. And so there was a lot going on at the time, and I didn't know how to set those boundaries because of it. And I mean, years later, we're able to like have those boundaries in place, but it took so long to learn how to start setting those boundaries for myself.
Well, and it's a lot about communication.
It's very much a lot about communication, and if you're not able to communicate those with the people closest to you, like those boundaries with the people closest to you, like you have to definitely take a look at how your style is with communicating and how you guys are with interacting. But I just know for me personally, with Eric, it was really, really hard to learn what boundaries I needed to set up for us to be able to have that communication, for us to be like how to communicate that to him so that we could have a better relationship, because it's not necessarily about making you as a person comfortable, it's about also making your relationship with other people comfortable.
Well, if you think about this, the basis of boundaries is communication. Yeah. I mean, why would someone come up and want to get close to you physically? Why would someone want to come up and hug you? Why would somebody want to tell you something, or maybe call you a name? Why? It's all based in they aren't communicating. They don't know how to communicate something to you. Yeah. They're communicating maybe in a dysfunctional way. Boundaries help actually people communicate more healthy. instead of fighting and being passive aggressive and saying things you don't mean to get a point across, isn't it easier just to say what you mean?
Yeah.
This really bothers me when you do this. So is there a way we can compromise, or is there a way that you can maybe learn how to do it differently so that I'm not always upset about it? And maybe that gives that person, the other person, an opportunity to say, well, I do it that way because I don't feel like you listen to me. It's so there's all these boundaries being crossed because you're not communicating effectively.
It's so funny you say that, though, because I actually had to do that this morning with Eric. He wasn't being rude or anything, but whenever I leave and say I'm going somewhere, I'm be like, hey, I'll be back in a little while. He'll say something like, okay, I'll see you at 8, or okay, I'll see you at 10. And I actually stopped him this morning, like, I just want you to know that actually, like, I feel bad when you say that. Not you make me feel bad, because it's not on him. He doesn't control me.
Yeah.
But it does make, like, I do feel bad when he says that, because I end up feeling that he has no confidence in me, in, like, coming home or, like, watching my time or anything like that. It just makes me feel weird. And so I said that to him before I left, and then I came back because I forgot my sew-faded sweater at home, and I had to go back.
Yeah.
I had to. And so I was leaving again. I'm like, okay, I'll see you in a while. And he's like, okay, I'll see you later. And so just letting him know and not putting the blame on him.
And he probably wasn't trying to hurt you.
And he wasn't. Like, he didn't realize that affected me. Yeah. He was trying to be funny, and he's always trying to be funny in ways like that. But just saying it like that, like, I end up feeling like this when this happens. So I told him, like, I just want to make you aware that this is how I feel. And then he stopped doing it.
And that's a boundary that you're setting right there. So I hope we covered that well enough. I mean, it's a big part of mental health. Boundaries are very much, no matter what I'm dealing with in a therapy session, no matter what those girls are going through, there's always boundaries that have to be set or have to be respected by the client. And as people in day-to-day, it's a lot about communication. It's a lot about not being all about us, but thinking of others.
Yeah.
And it really will make you happier if you can set boundaries. I know a lot of people have. I think it's harder to set boundaries than it is to learn how to respect boundaries.
Yes.
Because a lot of people over-respect boundaries. They're so afraid of offending people or crossing a boundary that sometimes they pull back so far that they're isolated and alienated.
And anxious.
Yeah. So sometimes, and we have to be able to also let people do their part too. And I can't go through life going, well, I don't want to take them cookies, because what if they don't like cookies, or what? It's their job to let you know. That's a boundary on their side.
Take like 8 different types of cookies in case they're gluten-free, allergic to nuts, like all these things.
It's our responsibility to set our own boundaries and respect the ones that people set in place for them. But it's their responsibility to let you know if you cross boundaries. Yeah. And if they've let you know...
It's not on you to be magic and guess.
No, but if they do let you know verbally, I have had people say things like, are you serious? That bothers you?
Yeah.
Why would that bother you? Why? I mean, Eric could have easily been like, psh, I was totally kidding. I know you're going to be back.
That just would have invalidated all of that.
Yeah. So instead to be saying things like, oh, okay, I apologize. I wasn't trying to be rude.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So hopefully that's great. We're not, like we said, we're not giving out any advice, mental health advice. If you have questions or concerns about boundaries and think maybe you or a loved one is having issues and it's causing problems in their lives, you should probably seek out a mental health provider. Yeah. I just want to state every time we do this, I am a licensed medical or mental health provider. So just so you know, we're not just spouting off things.
Random.
Right. I am licensed, but that doesn't make me the expert. I'm sure there's things that maybe I said that some people might disagree with, and that's totally fine too. There's more than one way to approach a subject. So, but I think that's all we have.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed our 20th cup of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks, and I will have air condition.
I hope so, because I'm dying right now, and not in the kind of way that I want to be dying.
Not right now. Not with colors and stuff. Yeah. So you guys have a good 2 weeks, and we'll be back. And
hopefully with some knit-alongs going on.
We'll be starting some knit-alongs.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have so many sweaters planned.
Okay. We love you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good 2 weeks.
Yes, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.